Right, folks, a happier for Fox's sake this edition, and I'd just like to start off by saying thank you to the over 35,000 people who have watched my Leicester Liverpool for Fox's sake. I was never ever expecting that, but thank you all very much. Not that you're all going to watch this one because it's a different team and that's it. I suppose you just wanted to see how I would react to the battering Leicester got, but that was then. This is now. Well, what a game. What a game. I've made a few notes as I went along, and I was surprised to see the 7 changes for West Ham, but I was even more surprised to see the 9 changes that Rodgers made for Leicester. Now, one of the changes, Vardy, I hear Rebecca, well, I've no words of her being a grass. Rebecca has given birth to a child, 4th or 5th child, I don't know. So that's why old Jamie didn't turn up. I think all the other changes, some were down to giving them a rest. I'm sorry, I'm not into this resting players and all that kind of shit. Yeah, I know you've got a squad, and I know you do this, and I know you do that, but Liverpool have just flown over 3,500 miles, right? They've won the World Club Championship, come back, and then gave Leicester a lesson on having a rest. Really? For fuck's sake, really? But anyway, it turns out it was the right thing. Perhaps Rodgers did it because he thought that they'd all been playing shit and they needed a good kick up the arse. I think Maddison needed one, I think Barnes needed one, I think Chilwell needed one. I don't know about Soyuncu. Perhaps he was just a bit of a rest. Perhaps he had a bit of a niggle. I do not know. That kind of thing. Ndidi, I don't know. Oh, I don't know why he did it. And God, itchy nose. And I don't know why he did it, but it obviously turned out quite well. I missed the first 10 minutes. In fact, I just tuned in when the penalty was happening, and it was a penalty. And do you know what, right? They do this thing now where they say a defender had covered him. A defender would have got there or beat the player that was going through. Well, I think that's just a load of bollocks, to be fair. He fouled the bloke, and you don't really know what would have happened if he'd have gone by him. The defender might have had Iheanacho might have put pressure on the defender. He might have sliced it, put it in the net. You just don't know. And it just seems an easy cop-out that, oh, the defender was covering him. Balls to covering him, balls to it. He fouled him. And I'd say this if it was the other way round as well. It's just a way of stopping them from scoring. Now, all right, granted they have a penalty, but a penalty's a 50-50 thing. You know, and penalties can be missed, and that's it. So, he missed the penalty. Unbelievable. Very poor penalty. I weren't impressed with it. Sometimes, you know, when you take a penalty, I mean, I never took penalties or anything. It was basically, I was shit at football. But sometimes, if you're not that sure, just go up and put your foot through it and twat it as hard as you can. You will get a damn sight more respect from a fan if you just go up and hit it, instead of all this silly, I tried to place it, just go fucking hit it. Just hit it, right? Just hit it. Because even if it bounces off the keeper, bounces off the post, the crossbar, it's coming out that quick, you've got a chance. But to hit it like that one. So, Gray, just take it on the chin, son, and learn. Put your foot through it next time. I thought at the start of the game Morgan was a little bit slack. It looked like he was lacking match action. But as the game went on, I thought he did really well. I thought Chowdhury was working hard and getting stuck in. Do you know what? When he came on against Liverpool, it looked a different kind of game with him. He was chasing them down. He was shutting them down. And he was doing that today. He was winning the ball, and then he was like, and if he lost the ball, he got stuck in. Mendy were doing the same as well. I thought they all played really well. I was really impressed with them, the way they got stuck in. Granted, it was West Ham. And I don't want to show any disrespect to West Ham, but I do feel sorry for the fans down there because West Ham just looked like they didn't have any shape. any system, I don't honestly know. West Ham are not normally like that. Even under Allardyce, I'm sure they played better than that. But there you go. You sometimes, you just, the fans, they want to change. And I don't know. It's not looking good for West Ham. Like I've already said, I'm just reading off my notes. Mendy, he looked impressive. I thought he was running around, he was getting stuck in. It's nice to see all these fringe players being given a chance and chucking them all in, because they're a vital part of the squad, like Leicester's, and they were really getting stuck in. I think Perez was giving the ball away far too easy. Again, he's looking like a good signing for Newcastle, to be fair, because they've got a lot of money for him, and he just doesn't seem to be coming on any better than what he was. He was all right earlier on. I thought he was getting stuck in, he was tackling. I was well impressed, and I was quite happy when he came to Leicester. But he just doesn't seem to be doing what we're required of him. Thought Albrighton was looking good. He was working up and down, and if he gave the ball away, he was trying to battle it back and all that kind of thing. He was putting in crosses. He was really good. It was like the Albrighton of old, and he's another vital player to Leicester's squad. But as the game went on, I thought that West Ham were giving Leicester time and space. They were standing off them, a bit like Leicester did against Liverpool and Manchester City. We were standing off them, giving them time, giving them respect and all that. And sometimes you can't do that. There was one point where West Ham fans were really getting into their team, trying to G them up or just abusing them basically. And Leicester should really have turned the screw there, but they didn't. And it was the goal that came for the first goal, where Leicester's. It was a nice little attack, and it was a bit of a wayward ball, and it was going out. But fair play to Perez, he actually kept on battling. Which the fact that he actually kept on running and headed it back for Iheanacho to score was a complete shock to me. It was just unbelievable. He actually kept fighting and did it, and so fair play to Perez, and that was it. But really, West Ham should be doing better than that. They just gave up on that. They just like watching it float over, and they may as well have all been standing in that new stand. They may as well have had Usain Bolt running by again, because the fucking West Ham players were just watching it. No, that's it. And right, let me just go through my notes. This is why I just have to go through my notes and have to try and remember the game. But the goal really gave Leicester confidence, and they started to really build, passing it about, and it looked like the Leicester it was looking like the Leicester before the Norwich game. They were quite confident, they were knocking it around, and that's what Rodgers preaches. It was almost if these Liverpool and Man City games, we didn't want them. We didn't want them to come because they knew they were going to be given a tough game, and it was a lot of pressure to keep up with them. It was like, we need something out of this to keep up with Liverpool, to stay in front of Manchester City. So perhaps, I don't know, perhaps the pressure, it's just a learning curve. Right. I thought, yes, so their goal, I can't quite remember their goal, to be fair. How did their goal go? See, this is what I like about my channel. I can't edit, so I just roll with it. They scored. I can remember Fuchs diving in, and that was it. But there you go. So they got a second goal, and then they nearly got a second one as well, didn't they? Towards the end of the first half. But we got through it, and I think Rodgers must have given them a bit of a bollocking and woke them all up, because at the start that we came out of the second half and we looked really good. It was just confident football, knocking it about, keeping possession. We got the free kick. It was a good free kick as such, because I don't know if he actually meant it, but it actually went like under and round the wall. So that was something different. Instead of one of these looping, duping things, and it just nothing happens. But nothing happened out of that one, did it? Unless it went under the wall. But anyway, they saved it. Right, keeping on. There was one bit where we attacked down the left-hand side. Iheanacho and Perez was running through the middle. It would have been ideal for Iheanacho to just slot the ball through to see Perez probably put it wide or over. When he tried to bang it over the other far side and hit Gray, but he missed Gray completely, put it behind him, and he just completely knackered it up. But fair play to Iheanacho. He's, with his past history at Leicester, he's not really been played, or when he has played, he's not been that good. But the lad is trying, and I think if a lad is trying to, you know, to try, I know he's getting paid a lot of money and all that, but sometimes your heads can drop, and he's trying. And fair enough to him. West Ham actually had a counter attack, didn't they? And they came through, and Johnny Evans tackled the player and won the ball inside Leicester's box, and Schmeichel came on and just dived on it. It was a brilliant tackle because he just disrupted everything up. We then attacked, and to be fair to the referee, he could have blown up for a foul because Diop fouled Iheanacho, but he didn't. He let Gray go, and it was an absolute corking little goal because he just took it out onto the left, and then he come in and just slotted it round the keeper. Hell of a goal. After that then, Leicester didn't really look in any trouble. It was great to see Justin playing at the back. He looks a proper prospect. If Ricardo does go, because he's talk of PSG coming for him, I think we've got a nice little player there who can step in for him. I'm surprised that Maddison came on. I thought he would have left him off and rested him completely. But, you know, as the game was going on, and I thought, did he take Perez off? I can't quite remember. But during that time, around the hour mark, Leicester were playing such good football. They were just knocking it about, and West Ham were just chasing shadows. You know, West Ham really are in a state, and I think perhaps you don't want to see anybody. You know what? You say this about football managers. You say, "Oh, I don't want to see anybody out of work." He's probably on 50 grand a week, the manager or whatever. He's just come back from China. He's just probably earned about 8 million there. The guy's about 106 anyway. Well, how much fucking money does he want? So I'm not really bothered, to be fair. You know, when all's said and done, if a club like West Ham go down, and let's face it, they're in danger of going down, that will absolutely cripple that club, because the amount of people they've got there, and they've got to fill that stadium, it'll be an absolute joke. So if he does get the sack, it's his fucking fault. It was also good to see Leicester again, once again, trying different set pieces. There was one where they just put it out to Fuchs, who just twatted it wide, which was quite funny. But it's just good to see that Leicester will try different things, and the defenders of the opposition don't really know what is happening. Justin, I was saying he was defending well. He's good because he does do an overlapping thing, Justin. He's not scared of anything as such. I don't know about the boogeyman, but you know, he's not bothered about where he plays and who he's playing against. In fact, he might have been good against Liverpool, because Liverpool wouldn't have really known a lot about him as such, but it was great. But on the 80th minute again, Evans just made another great tackle and just shut players down. There was one where the ball coming and he made the tackle and he blocked it and he went out. There's not a lot really more I can talk about this game, because Leicester played really, really well, and West Ham were just, and with all due respect to any Hammers fans that watches this, they were just woeful. And Callum Brady and all the other ones, Sullivan, they've got to really look at the situation of what is happening at West Ham, because it can't keep going on, you know. So just going through the game once more. Snodgrass, there was one bit where he went out wide and Schmeichel dived to just basically jock him out. I don't know whether he was diving, I don't know whether he was hoping he was going to get someone, or if VAR were going to, if he was hoping that he was going to get caught, but it didn't look good. Chowdhury, he got booked basically because Maddison was fucking around in the middle of the pitch. He went down, making out he'd been fouled, so the ball went by Chowdhury. He had to stop the game, Chowdhury. He had to break the play up, and he fouled the player, and he got booked. And really, it's a shame you can't go to the FA and say, can we just get that booking for Chowdhury off him and put it on to Maddison for being a complete arse and messing about. There was also one other thing in the game that I want to just quickly mention, is that there was a free kick to West Ham in their own half, just next to the box. I can't remember if it was a foul or an offside. But in the end, West Ham must have moved that ball 20 yards forward, and the referee did fuck all about it. Now, the referees are quite happy to get this bloody silly foamy spray out and put a line up and stop defenders and all that, but they don't seem to put, these footballers can just like throw a ball 20, 10 yards, oh, then I'll kick it a little bit further. No, take it from where it's supposed to be, which is on the edge of the box. Don't take it inside your own half, or, in the middle of your own half. Do it from where it's supposed to be. Because if the free kick was from where it was, it wouldn't have been off fucking side. But I'm just so again, West Ham, if they did attack, Leicester got bodies behind the ball. There was a header that Morgan won. It was just superb. They shut players down when they went to shoot. West Ham players came forward to shoot or make something. And that was it really. But I will mention Iheanacho again. He was chasing right down till the end of the game when the whistle blew. He was shutting players down and he was battling. And it's good to see. So to cap it all off, folks, it was a great performance from Leicester after the two really dodgy games against Manchester City and Liverpool. It's nice to be another 4 points ahead of Manchester City again. Hopefully whoever Manchester City are playing will get beat again. I've got nothing against Manchester City, but I honestly want Leicester to, as a Leicester fan, I want to see him in Europe and playing in the Champions League, and that's what I need to happen. Well, not what I need to happen, it's the whole club needs to happen. So that's it. If anybody's going to the Wigan game next week in the FA Cup, look out for me in the ginger one. We are in the Spine Cop. I can't remember which one. SP Spine Cop 3, I think. Can't remember. And say hello. But if not, you won't see us and you won't say hello. All right, folks. Laters.